Your neighbor just bought a new car. You don't need a new car. Your car works fine, but suddenly, it doesn't feel fine anymore. That feeling right there has probably cost the average person more money over their lifetime than every other trap we've covered on this channel combined. Not because of the car, because of what happens in your brain the second you see it. We've talked about the tomorrow tax. We've talked about buy now, pay forever. We've talked about the convenience premium. Every one of those traps operates quietly, on its own, inside your own head. This one is different. This one needs other people to work. And that's exactly what makes it so hard to escape. Today, we're exposing the comparison trap, and by the end of this video, you'll never look at your neighbor's driveway the same way again. Here's a fact that should stop you in your tracks. Multiple studies on financial satisfaction have found that your income barely predicts how happy you feel about your money. What predicts it almost perfectly is how your income compares to the people around you. This is the comparison trap, the tendency to measure your financial enough not against your own goals, but against whoever happens to be standing next to you. It's why a household earning $90,000 a year can feel financially secure in one neighborhood and completely inadequate in another, without a single dollar of actual income changing. Economists have a term for this: relative income. It turns out your brain isn't asking, do I have enough? It's asking, do I have as much as them? And that second question has no finish line, because there is always a them with slightly more. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. This isn't a character flaw. It's not vanity. It's a wiring problem baked directly into how humans evolved to survive. For most of human history, relative status wasn't a vanity metric. It was survival information. Falling behind your tribe in resources could mean falling behind in safety, in mating opportunities, in access to food. Your brain still runs that ancient calculation today, except now the tribe is a coworker's vacation photos, a neighbor's driveway, or a friend's new kitchen. The mechanism works through something psychologists call social comparison, and it happens almost entirely without your permission. You don't consciously decide to compare your car to your neighbor's. Your brain does it automatically, instantly, before your rational mind even gets a vote. And here's the truly expensive part. Once your brain registers a gap, it doesn't just note the gap. It generates discomfort, real, physical discomfort, the same category of discomfort as a threat. Buying something to close that gap doesn't feel like a financial decision. It feels like relief from a threat that was never actually real. Here's a statistic that should make every parent in this audience sit up. Children who grow up in neighborhoods with higher income neighbors, even at the exact same family income level, show measurably higher rates of financial stress and overspending as adults. The comparison trap doesn't just cost you money once. It resets your baseline for enough permanently based on whoever happens to be nearby. This is why lottery winners often move to nicer neighborhoods and end up broke within a few years. Not because they spent the winnings foolishly all at once, but because their new neighbors became their new comparison group, and enough quietly moved with them. It's also why a raise rarely feels like enough for long. The moment your income increases, you often gain access to a slightly wealthier comparison group. New coworkers, a nicer neighborhood, a different social circle, and the goalposts move again, automatically, without you ever noticing them shift. You're not just spending to keep up. You're spending to keep up with a moving target that resets itself every time you get close. Economists have actually measured this effect with real money, not just surveys, and the results are more extreme than most people expect. In controlled experiments, when people were offered a choice between earning $50,000 while others around them earned $25,000, or earning $100,000 while others around them earned $200,000, a striking number of people chose the lower absolute income, as long as it meant coming out ahead of their peers. Behavioral economist Robert Frank has written extensively about this pattern, describing it as expenditure cascades. When top earners in a group increase their spending, it pressures everyone below them to increase spending too, even those with no realistic ability to keep pace. Researchers have also found a direct link between local income inequality and personal debt levels. Communities with wider income gaps between neighbors show consistently higher rates of borrowing, driven largely by comparison-based spending rather than actual need. In other words, the comparison trap isn't a personal weakness. It's a measurable, well-documented economic force, and it scales with exactly how close the comparison feels. Here's the good news hiding inside all of this. Because the trap runs on proximity and visibility, you can weaken it just by changing what you're looking at. Here are 5 ways to do exactly that. Number 1, audit your comparison group on purpose. Notice who you're actually measuring yourself against. A specific neighbor, a specific coworker, a specific social media account, and ask honestly whether that comparison serves you at all. Number 2, curate your visible inputs. Social media is a comparison engine by design. Muting, unfollowing, or limiting exposure to accounts that consistently trigger comparison spending is not petty, it's financial hygiene. Number 3, define enough in writing, based on your own numbers. A specific savings target, a specific monthly budget, a specific goal, written down before you're standing in a driveway looking at someone else's new car. Decisions made in advance are far less vulnerable to in-the-moment comparison spikes. Number 4, seek out a wealth-invisible environment when you can. Time spent around people where spending and status aren't constantly visible. Hiking groups, book clubs, activities built around something other than possessions genuinely reduces comparison pressure because there's nothing constantly signaling relative position. Number 5, reframe the comparison itself. When you notice the gap forming, try asking a different question than, "Do I have as much as them?" Try, "Am I on track for what I actually want?" Same trigger, completely different financial outcome. Here's the uncomfortable truth about the comparison trap. There will never be a neighborhood, a friend group, or a social feed where you're the person with the most. Someone, somewhere, will always have slightly more. Which means chasing that gap closed isn't a financial strategy. It's a treadmill with no off switch, dressed up to look like a finish line. The tomorrow tax steals from your future. Buy now, pay forever hides today's true cost. The convenience premium charges you for the discomfort of thinking. This trap is different. It doesn't even need your own spending habits to work. It just needs a driveway, a vacation photo, or a slightly nicer kitchen, and your own brain does the rest. The only real exit is deciding in advance what enough actually looks like for you before anyone else's driveway gets a vote. If this changed how you'll look at your neighbor's next big purchase, hit subscribe. We're building a real map of the psychology that keeps smart people broke, one trap at a time. But there's a trap even more dangerous than comparison. The one that makes you keep pouring money into a bad decision simply because you've already spent so much trying to make it work. Next time, we're exposing the sunk cost trap.